Hello everybody and welcome to Travel in the Know with me, Philip Saunders, from the charming Surrey village of Thames Ditton, just outside of London. And I mean just outside, we're talking about half a mile. And I'm at the Ye Old Swan pub, which is one of the most famous pubs in the area. It's actually an inn that dates back to the 13th century, and just having a half pint before having a little look around Thames Ditton, and also going to try some fish and chips for you. The first time that I've done that on the British mainland. Why am I doing this? Well, it's a form of tribute to the MacMaster, to Lee. Had to just explain here, when I was ill last year, or rather I'd broken my foot and was confined to bed for 3 or 4 months, and watched YouTube for the first time, the MacMaster is one of the very first YouTubers that was recommended to me on my stream. I was often worried about him because the titles to his videos, they certainly suggest a very exciting life, but also fraught with danger. I don't know how many airlines have come close to killing him, but he truly is remarkable. If you haven't seen his films, have a look at the MacMaster. Every single day he provides entertainment which informs, tells us about his life, electric vehicles, travel and food. And when I looked at him, I thought, wow, this guy is a great example, and I too would like to have a go. So Lee, this is my tribute to you. But of course there is a further backstory as well, isn't there? Just over a month ago, so that must have been in April, you visited Thames Ditton and you created a video called I Was Living the Good Life, but it has turned bad, very bad. Now, what actually happened? Well, first of all, the reason why Lee is talking about the good life is that when you cross the border into London, you're in Surbiton, which is where the very popular BBC 1970s sitcom The Good Life, starring people like Felicity Kendall, Penelope Keefe, Paul Eddington, and also the character of Tom, played by Richard Briers, was set, although actually all the outdoor scenes were filmed in Harrow in north west London. But that programme, The Good Life, I think has left an impression with everyone. So he was playing with words, but what went wrong? Well, to use similar language to Lee, Google Maps nearly wrecked his entire life. Yes, it's that bad. He wanted to try Christy's fish and chips, which is a very well-known purveyor of the English national dish, not so many steps away from here. He'd eaten there many years in the past, but unfortunately the closing and opening times on Google Maps were totally misleading, and this is why his life became extremely bad. He actually had to visit a pub nearby and enjoy lunch there. Now, I hate to tell you this, Lee, but despite the success of your films, Google Maps is still wrong, and the opening times are pitifully inaccurately recorded. However, I know when they're going to be open, and definitely going to try fish and chips and review it almost on your behalf. But first of all, let's take a little look at the remarkable history of Thames Ditton and the evidence that when you live somewhere, and I only live a couple of miles from here, it's worth investigating, because almost every corner has a historic tale to tell. And then we'll go and review the fish and chips, the privilege that was so cruelly denied to the MacMaster. Well, unfortunately we can't get through this gate, understandable enough, onto this beautiful bridge which takes us to Thames Ditton Island, because it's for local residents only. But surely it must be one of the most charming places to live anywhere on the River Thames. One day, Philip, one day, hey, let's make a success of YouTube, and you never ever know, do you? This is one of those beautiful buildings which houses communication agencies and other modern companies, and most of us just walk by and don't ask about the history. But let me tell you, this place, the Ferry Works, bang next door to Ye Old Swan, is absolutely full of fascinating historic detail which has impacted the British way of life for centuries. So let me tell you a little bit about it. Remember, Ye Old Swan dates back to the 13th century, and because of the position of the Thames Ditton Island, this had always been a great place with a wharf back to those times for crossing the river, long before there were any bridges anywhere near Hampton Court or even Kingston. So a very important crossing point from here, Surrey, into Middlesex and the other side of the riverbank, which would also lead to Hampton Court. But the Ferry Works really reached the pinnacle of its importance to the UK and our industry and our history towards the end of the 19th century. A skilled bronze foundry was built here in 1874, and it became extremely well known for the quality of its work. So much so that 5 particularly famous bronze statues were built here, some of which were exported worldwide. So the one that you will certainly know is the Eros statue at Piccadilly Circus, and also the Victoria Memorial, which is of course in London too. Giant quadriga on the Wellington Arch at Hyde Park Corner, and for those of you watching in Australia, and I know that there's at least one, the Captain James Cook statue in Hyde Park, Sydney. So pretty impressive. I'm sure that those of you who watch the MacMaster know that he's a huge fan of cars. So it's also interesting, as this is a kind of tribute to him, to point out that between 1911 and 1984, the village, and indeed the Ferry Works, were home to the AC Cars factory. Actually, not only here, but also in the High Street. And they were, of course, famous for producing all sorts of groundbreaking vehicles in the early days of the car industry. In 1919, the world's first Light 6 car was built here, and then a little later, the world's first under 1500cc car, and it covered 100 miles in 1 hour, which is incredible. That's in 1922. Can scarcely believe it. 1925, world 24-hour and 2,000 mile speed records, and in 1926, the first ever British car to win the Monte Carlo Rally. True motoring history here in Thames Ditton, just outside London. Time to leave this charming village now and head to the fish and chip shop, which is what, about a 5-minute walk from here? I'll see you there. We've reached the main Portsmouth Road, which basically starts in Kingston, heads down to Esher, and you can work out where it originally ended up. And just behind me on the other side of the road is Christy's Fish and Chip Shops, Lee. Yep, Mr. MacMaster, that is it. Now let's go and see if it's open and if I can go and review some fish and chips on your behalf. I know how much you wanted to do it, and I'm really sorry you couldn't, but I promise you I'll do my very best on your behalf. I've almost certainly chosen the wrong day of the week to do this. It's early Friday evening or late Friday afternoon, and you can see that it's popular. There's already a queue of 4 or 5 people inside the fish and chip shop. I'd like 1 large cod chips, please, and 1 curry sauce. What do you cook your chips and fish in? Is it oil or is it dripping? It's dripping. Beef dripping. Yeah.
Where are you come from?
I have a little travel vlog, and I live round the corner, and another guy, quite well known, called the
fish.
There's the fish, that's great. And a guy called the MacMaster came here recently, but he couldn't film because you were shut. So I thought I would do it on his behalf, you see. That's amazing fish. How long have you been here? How many years?
17 years.
17 years, about as long as I've been here.
Yeah.
And I know that you're very, very popular.
Yeah,
That's
ask
right.
the customer.
I'll ask, well, I don't know if they want to be on film, but can I just ask you, is everyone happy with the fish and chips here?
Yes.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, all who've spoken in the affirmative. So that's pretty good, isn't it? It's good customer research. You must be happy. Okay, great. So how much is all of that? Oh, I'll also have, sorry, a can of Coke, please. Yeah.
That's 15 can.
That's great, because I know all your costs are going up at the moment, right?
Yeah.
It's an expensive business, fish and chips.
Yes.
So you do a great job for the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You see, fish and chip paper taking on a whole new meaning now. As I write the channel name, it's not newspaper, but hopefully somebody will watch the channel. Sorry, your name, sir?
Gemma Geraldine McAvoy,
And you're from?
Belfast.
Now you come specially all the way to Surrey to eat fish and chips, is that right?
Well, we're in our visiting our daughter,
Ah.
you know, and we'll come over here. It's lovely.
But you always come here.
Always come
And
here.
what do you like about the fish and chips here?
The fish is lovely, and the batter on it's lovely. You know, it's just pure white fish.
Spotless clean.
No.
Good
And
taste.
we want very friendly.
Beef dripping, right? I understand as well. That's got to be good.
Good way.
Thank you very much and have a lovely stay here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, I've built up a real hunger now, but I found somewhere to try my fish and chips and curry sauce. And let's see if they're as good as that couple from Belfast suggested. Certainly the fact that they're cooked in beef dripping as well is always something that excites me. I can't get this curry sauce open. We'll do that in a minute. Let's concentrate on the fish and chips first. That's what we all want to see. I asked for quite a lot of salt and vinegar on mine as well. And it's a large fish as well. Let's have a look. Let's see what it looks like. She'll just rip the paper. Oh, it's a nice big piece of cod. It's quite windy now. Not ideal. There you go, it looks like a nice piece of fish. And there are the chips underneath. Right, let's go for it. The fish is so flavourful and it just flakes away. As you can see, I'm just going to pick it up like that. Bit messy. Lots of light fish flavour, incredibly fresh. And the batter is crisp on the outside, soft on the inside. And it's got that lovely taste that you get when it's been cooked in beef dripping. It makes such a difference when it's well done, and done well. And this is certainly, look, just look at the fish, it's crazy. Right, let's try some chips. Yep, really nice potatoey flavour, not particularly crisp on the outside, nice and fluffy inside, and flavoursome, and nicely seasoned. We'll try it with the curry sauce in a minute when we get a chance. You can see just how flaky that fish is. I wish the wind would pipe down a bit though. Curry sauce is finally open, generous, reasonably generous portion. It's like what you'd expect from a chip shop curry sauce. Sticks to the chip quite well. And I always think these curry sauces have that kind of almost coronation chicken flavour. But I can't get enough of it on my chips, I really like it. So that's good for me. Right, I'll come back once I've eaten everything up, and then we'll have a little summary for the film. This is good though. Boy, that was good, wow. Definite gold medal, well done Christys. And Lee, MacMaster, I'm sure that having seen that you're going to want to come back, and I want to know your opinion as well. But I thought that was great fish and chips, and the difference really is first of all in the freshness and in the beef dripping, and I've got to say the kindness of everybody there. You could see how popular it was. It's only about 6 o'clock on a Friday evening and already 9-10 people in line, so really a great performance. This place here in Thames Ditton is somewhere I used to walk almost every day during lockdown, and it really kept me sane. So it is lovely to be here, first time in a long time, and I've truly enjoyed taking you around Thames Ditton, and also perhaps looking at those things that we don't always notice but that have huge historic value. Anyhow, hope you've enjoyed this show. Have a look at the MacMaster's channel if you don't know it, and of course this is Philip Saunders saying I'm really looking forward to welcoming you on another adventure on Travel in the Know in the very near future. Goodbye.